On the Hawkeye Sports Network from Learfield, Hawkeye Volleyball is brought to you by Iowa Corn. You might think Iowa just grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa. Brought to you by Iowa's corn farmers of the Iowa Corn Growers Association and the Iowa Corn Promotion Board. Wellmark, you're listening to healthy coverage of the Iowa Hawkeyes from Wellmark Blue Cross and Blue Shield, University of Iowa Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives, and by Homewood Suites and Home 2. Hawk fans, experience your home away from home at Coralville's finest all-suite hotels. Now live, this is Hawkeye Volleyball.
Extreme Arena at the Iowa River Landing. It's time for Iowa Hawkeye Volleyball. Live from Coralville, the 21st ranked Ohio State Buckeyes are in town to take on the Iowa Hawkeyes. A good Sunday afternoon to you, and welcome to the broadcast alongside color analyst Reagan Coyle. Filling in for John Evans, I'm John Leo. The opening weekend of conference play for the Hawkeyes has presented a pair of stiff tests. The weekend started with a 5-set thriller here at Extreme on Friday, with Iowa falling just short in 5 sets against 12th-ranked Minnesota. It was an intense battle that pushed the Gophers to the brink, but ultimately favored the visitors. Now to wrap up the weekend, another top 25 team is in town, the Ohio State Buckeyes. Although 3-7 and losers of 7 in a row, they come in ranked 21st in the country. The Buckeyes are winless in September, but all 7 matches have come against teams that are ranked in the top 18 in the country. The Buckeyes were swept most recently by number 2 Nebraska on Friday. Don't let that 3-7 record fool you, folks. The Hawkeyes, on the flip side, they enter 8-5 overall, 0-1 in conference play, but the Hawkeyes have won 4 of their last 6 matches, and they're looking to add to their home win total with a victory over Ohio State today. The Hawkeyes are looking also for their first win over a ranked opponent since 2018. An incredible opportunity for Iowa today and a chance to come level in conference play before hitting the road next weekend. It's number 21 Ohio State and Iowa. The Buckeyes and the Hawkeyes live from Extreme Arena in Coralville with first serve coming in a few minutes. Let's welcome in color analyst Reagan Coyle. All right, Reagan, you were here on Friday night with the 5-setter against Minnesota. Close but no cigar for the Hawkeyes. What did you see from that matchup against the Gophers?
You know, the way I described it with John, it was kind of a roller coaster of a match, kind of going back and forth in favor of Iowa. They had a really good set, and then they had a really bad set, ended up in 5. The Hawks had a chance, but in the end, Minnesota came out on top. Really tough match. Always fun to take a Big Ten team to 5. Not so fun when you lose, but like I said, it was a great match, and I think the Hawks really tested the Gophers, and just got to bounce back in the Big Ten. Another big one today that the Hawks can definitely get.
Yeah, getting closer and closer, and a supreme opportunity for the Hawkeyes today with another ranked team in town before hitting the road next weekend. Let's go over the starting lineups. We'll go with Ohio State. A couple of defensive specialists for the Buckeyes, Sarah Sue Morbitzer and Caitlin Hoffman. Their setter is Mia Tuman. Middle blockers are Riley Rader, along with Eloise Brandewie. Outside hitters, Lauren Murphy and Emily Londot. Londot, probably their best player for the Buckeyes this season. Ohio State with a 3-7 record overall in the 4th season as head coach Jen Flynn Oldenburg for the Buckeyes. Now the starting lineups for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Yes, we've got Moravec in as outside, Dennis as libero, McSweeney and Davis as our middles. We got Caitlin Beatner on the outside, Ortega at center, and Urquhart in as right side.
Head coach of the Hawkeyes, Jim Barnes, in his 2nd season. Associate head coach, Brian Yale. Assistant coach, Aubrey Becker. Assistant coach and director of volleyball video analytics, Mike Becker. And director of operations, Emily Sparks. All right, so the Hawkeyes and the Buckeyes from Extreme Arena this afternoon. A happy Sunday to you wherever you may be listening from on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Teams meeting at the net now before we get set for first serve between Iowa and Ohio State. Maybe a couple of keys to victory today for the Hawkeyes. More to do with Iowa, probably less to do with Ohio State, you think?
I think serve receive is going to be really important in this match. when the Hawks lost big in the match against Minnesota, it was because they were really struggling on serve receive. They couldn't put up a good pass for Bailey to get their offense rolling. So I think passing is going to be really important. One thing I think they can continue doing great at is serving aggressive. The Hawks served very aggressive against Minnesota on Thursday rather. They can keep that aggression on the serving line and keep Ohio State out of system. They run really. That kind of creates a lot of momentum for them.
Probably get a good feel right away in this first set, the energy that the Hawks have on this matchup with Ohio State. The Buckeyes, they occupy the right half of the floor from our vantage point behind the Iowa bench. They've got their scarlet tops with white and gray numbers. The Hawkeyes in gold tops, gold uniforms for Iowa today with black numbers. The Hawkeyes will serve. This is Moravec, left to right to get us underway from Extreme this afternoon. Ready for play. Moravec runs up, leaps, sends it over the net. Far side and an ace right away for the Hawks. A diving opportunity for Ohio State, couldn't come up with it. Iowa on the board first.
Good way to start with an ace. Like I said, that aggression back on the service line is going to be huge for the Hawks.
Little change up to start, just a soft serve over the net on the far side. Moravec will give it another go. Iowa leading 1-0, and she hits this one into the net. Couldn't quite get it over. We're tied at 1. Ohio State will own the serve now. Right to left for the Buckeyes. This will be Rader to serve, a senior from Louisville. She'll send it over. Dennis will pop it over near side for Urquhart, but she couldn't catch up to it. Point to Ohio State, 2-1 Buckeyes.
A little bit of a slower start to this set here.
Rader to go again, right to left. Dennis receives it, set to Ortega. McSweeney goes for the kill, but comes up empty, sent right back to the Hawkeyes side of the floor and falls down. 3-1 Ohio State. Good block in the middle by the Buckeyes. Iowa trying to break this little run by Ohio State. That one hits the top of the tape. Ortega for McSweeney, who just sends it over. Ohio State with it, far side. They'll send it over now. Good dig there by Dennis. Here is Ohio State with it on the near side now. And it finds the back line. Point to the Buckeyes, 4-1.
That is Emily Londot on the outside for Ohio State. She is going to get a lot of swings this game.
She leads the Big Ten in kills per set. She's second in the Big Ten in points per set. Ohio State leading 4-1 in the first set. Back line, just out. It was too deep. Good read there by the Hawkeyes to let that one go. Point to Iowa. It's 4-2. Dennis to serve for Iowa. Redshirt sophomore from Clarence, Iowa. Libero, she'll send it over. Clears the tape. Far side and slammed right down by the Buckeyes. Good action there for Ohio State. It's 5-2 Buckeyes, nearly going.
That was a good slide there by 31 Brandewie for Ohio State. Buechner got caught a little far on the outside with her block setup, so Brandewie found some space inside the block there to put that one down.
Tooman to serve for Ohio State. She'll take a run at it, send it over. Moravec sends it for Urquhart near side. She finds the back left corner. Good vision there from Michelle, and point to the Hawkeyes.
That was a great deep swing. Wasn't her hardest kill, but she found an open spot kind of in the deep zone 1 there. It's a good spot to attack. That's where the setter plays defense.
Go across the court there like that, a good angle. 5-3 Ohio State. Urquhart will serve. She was spectacular against Minnesota earlier in the week. Her serve finds the top of the tape. Ohio State in a frenzy. They'll just send it over. Urquhart near side now, goes far side for Buechner. It's blocked at the net, but goes out. Point to the Hawkeyes. 5-4, Iowa within 1.
Good hard swing by Buechner. She catches the block, but got lucky with it landing out of bounds. I'd love to see her hit line. She was very successful at hitting line during Minnesota if she can get that to turn that way.
Iowa looking to tie it up in the early going. Here's Urquhart with another serve. Stronger serve and out. Tried to go to the near corner, but it was deep and possibly wide as well. 6-4 Ohio State. You like the aggressive approach there?
I like the aggressive approach, yeah. Just got to find a way to keep it in.
Londot to serve for the Buckeyes, right to left. Their scarlet uniforms. This one into the net. So an error for the Buckeyes. Gives it right back to Iowa. 6-5, Hawkeyes within 1. Buettner will serve for the black and gold.
So we got 2 service errors apiece, and we're only 11 points in. And I think both sides need to clean it up from the service line.
That was one of your keys to the game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Buettner will lift it over on a serve. Ohio State receives it far side. Opportunity blocked and out. Point to Ohio State. Got a hand on it up front, but deflected it, and no Hawkeye could get to it. 7-5 Buckeyes. Early going here in set number 1. Caitlin Hoffman, a freshman. She'll serve it for Ohio State. Dennis receives it. There's Mateo, far side now for Buettner in the middle. She sends it over. Ohio State will give it right back to the Hawks. Dennis pops it up. Joust at the net. Buckeyes have it. Their side. Blocked straight down by Anna Davis. Point to the Hawkeyes.
It's good patience by Davis. On the back row attack, you really have to wait on that block and go out at the last minute. They're going to set London even when she's in the back row, so you have to stay balanced in the middle and be ready for that. And Davis did just that.
And she was the only one there.
Yeah. Good solo block.
Yep. Time here as we'll wipe down part of the floor. It's Ohio State 7, Iowa 6 in set number 1. It's been back and forth, like you've mentioned, Reagan. Maybe not the cleanest volleyball being played, but still close in the early going.
Definitely.
Davis will serve it for the Hawks, the redshirt junior from Castle Rock, Colorado. Transfer in from Tulane. She'll take a run at it. She sends it over, hits the top of the tape. Ohio State's got it on their side. Here's Buettner saving it. Mateo, far side. Moravec blocked and down, out of bounds. But Ohio State touched it. We're tied at 7.
Yeah, it's a good high swing by Moravec. Just off the hands of the block, she kind of was going for the hands there, swiping it nice and high to get that tool. And really hard for the defense to track down on Ohio State's side.
Hawkeyes led 1-0. Looking to regain the lead now. We're tied at 7. They haven't led since that 1-0 mark. Wiping down the floor once again. Davis set to serve for the black and gold. Left to right for Iowa in set number 1. Higher serve that's received by Ohio State far side. Middle opportunity. Saved nicely by Urquhart. There is Buettner who hit it just out. Just barely deep on that far baseline. It was close. Maybe going to review it.
I thought
Coach
there
Barnes
might have been a touch.
Okay.
But I don't know if they're that confident about it.
Coach Barnes not quite going for that green card that sits on the end of the table right here. So point to Ohio State, 8-7 Buckeyes. Ohio State serving. Urquhart will drop down to get it. Mateo, far side, Moravec, and in on that back line. We're tied at 8. Ohio State got out of the way of it, but it was in, and we're tied.
I think there was definitely a touch on that one, too. So even if it was wide, the ref saw the touch. So they knew that was they were confident in that either way.
Sure. Mateo to serve for the Hawks. She'll send it to the far side of the floor. High pass, now slide near side for Ohio State. And a couple of deflections off of a pair of Hawkeyes. And the point will go to the Buckeyes. 9-8 Ohio State. Neither team getting much separation in the early going. Ohio State to serve. This is Lauren Murphy, 6'4", a freshman from Round Rock, Texas. Bounces it once, takes a run at it, sends it over. Buettner lifts it for Ortega, far side, Urquhart, and in. 9-9. Tied once again. Urquhart's been active in the early going.
Yes, she has. She is a right side in this rotation, but with her being stacked over there in that rotation, she takes a swing on the outside, which is kind of her normal home. So I'm sure she's really comfortable out there taking that swing. She ripped on that one.
Moravec will serve it for Iowa. Top spin serve. That'll be an ace as that goes out of bounds off of an Ohio State Buckeye.
Yeah, that ball's definitely going out, but thank goodness Ohio State got a touch on that.
Hit it the wrong way.
Moravec has to take a little off of that one to keep it in bounds.
Iowa with their first lead now since the first point of the match. It's 10-9 Hawkeyes trying to add to it here. Moravec over and, ooh, they did it again, Reagan, and it pays off once more for the Hawks. That one was out, don't you think?
That one's going out for sure. Yeah, but Ohio, it's just close enough to where they're questioning it, and they're trying to touch it.
Yeah. Forces an Ohio State timeout, back-to-back aces for Moravec. After Ohio State probably didn't have the best judgment on that. You mentioned she needed to take something off the serve the second time. I think she might have even had more on it, but it pays off for the Hawkeyes. 11-9, Iowa with the lead here in the first set. Hawk fans, experience your home away from home at Coralville's finest all-suite hotels. Homewood Suites and Home 2 Suites by Hilton each offer guests spacious suites, complimentary breakfast, 24-hour fitness center, pool, hot tub, guest laundry, and convenient locations. Let their warm and friendly staff take care of you and your family when you visit Hawkeye Country. All right, so the service game for Iowa has turned around a little bit and given the Hawks an advantage, leading 11-9, rattled off 3 points in a row now for the black and gold. Try to keep it going with Moravec on the serve when we get out of this timeout.
That's 3 aces for Moravec. She's, I'd like to see her kind of switch it up and do a short serve because she's sending it so far deep that I think Ohio State's going to kind of move their serving line back. She can throw in a short serve to make them move forward now, just to switch it up. I'd like to see that, but I'm not sure if that's in her wheelhouse or not. I know that's what Urquhart was doing on Thursday night. At least she would go deep a few and then kind of bring them up and do a couple short.
We'll get to see that approach right away out of this timeout. Iowa 11-9. Buckeyes seeking their first win over a ranked opponent since 2018. The Buckeyes ranked 21st in the country coming into this one today. Moravec is ready. She'll send it over. This is a hit to the back line. Ohio State receives it to the middle of the floor now. Sent over, top of the tape. Ortega saves it. Dennis sprints in. Oh, but Ohio State was there. It was on their side of the net. And just an easy tap down there for Londot. And the point goes to the Buckeyes.
It was a good dig by Ortega. She was there in the right spot. It just ended up being too tight for any Iowa player to do anything with it.
11-10, Iowa with the lead. Ohio State trying to answer. This is Rader. She'll serve it from the far side. Butner puts it middle for Ortega. McSweeney puts it down, and the Hawkeyes get the point right back. 12-10 Iowa.
Kind of a slower off-speed swing by McSweeney. I think she just needs the ball a little bit higher so that way she can get on top of it and put it down, but it's a kill regardless.
You think that catches opponents by surprise, too, and it doesn't come as fast off the hand there? Dennis will serve for Iowa. Ohio State with it on their side of the floor. Good save there by Moravec, but it's going to find the seats over on the far sideline. And Ohio State will get the point there. Good effort there by the Hawkeye sophomore. 12-11 Iowa. Ohio State to serve. This is Tooman, the freshman. She'll send it over, received by Moravec. Ortega near side, goes far side for Butner, but this will be a point to Ohio State.
Net call by Ortega. It was a little tight pass, and she really pushed it out there to Butner. Just got a little too close to the net.
Tied once again, this time at 12. Ohio State, they hold the serve. Tooman sends it over deep. Good read there by Moravec. It goes out. Point to the Hawkeyes. Another error by the Buckeyes in their service game. 13-12 Hawks.
Yeah, 3 service errors for them, but great 3 points for Iowa. Just need to take advantage of it and kind of go on a run here, and we've got Urquhart back there to do just that.
This is who you want back there, the junior from Virginia Beach, Virginia, Urquhart. She's ready. Here she goes. Sends it over, and a miss hit by Ohio State. Ace again for the Hawkeyes. 14-12, Iowa up by 2.
That cross-court serve is so deadly. It comes across the net so fast, and if it hits your platform wrong, it's an ace.
Trying to extend the lead, Urquhart. Same spot. Received a little bit better by Ohio State this time. They'll send it cross-court and in. Moravec gave a good effort for it.
That's a tough swing to defend, just getting it kind of painting the end line corner there.
Near side of the floor, cross-court to the far side. Tough angle there. Ohio State with the point. They're within 1 now. 14-13 Iowa. Here's Urquhart receiving the serve. Middle for Mateo. Slide there for Davis. She just has to push it over. The Buckeyes have it on their side. Sent over, tipped, and out of bounds. It is a touch at the net by the Hawkeyes. We're tied once again at 14. That was Thorpe that tried to send it home for the Buckeyes, and she did to get them the point.
She has a nice high swing, and she likes to go high off the hands. And like I said earlier, it's just a really tough ball to track down from the defense that's behind the block.
Buckeyes serving, and they serve it out again. Deep, point to the Hawkeyes, 15-14 Iowa. Back out in front.
That's 4 service errors for Ohio State.
4, all right. Buettner to serve, left to right for the Hawks. Iowa 15-14. She'll send it over. Ohio State went after it on the back line. They're giving chase, but too far. Out of bounds. Again, that one might have been deep, but must have been close enough for Ohio State to go after it. Point to Iowa, 16-14.
Yeah, since Ohio State's really struggling with those deep balls, I'd just say keep serving deep and keep making them think about it.
Sure. Here comes Buettner. Same location. Ohio State calls it in, so they hit it. And then Davis rejected right at the tape. And the Hawkeyes get the point. 17-14, one of the biggest leads for Iowa today, up by 3. Had one of those solo blocks there. You get a couple of.
Yeah, Davis had the block closed and she was pressed over the net. A great block touch there.
Iowa up by 3. Here's Buettner serving once again. This is a lollipop serve. Good diving stop there by Ohio State. Thorpe will send it, but it didn't cross the net. They maximize their touches. Hawks get another point, 18-14.
I love the short serve change up like I was talking about earlier. Then it really makes the serving line think, oh, should I step back and go deep, or do I need to come up and just get the short just in case?
And now anything's on the table. Buettner sends a strong serve to the back line. This one is hit out by the Buckeyes, but must have been a touch at the net. And so Ohio State will get the point, 18-15.
Yeah, Sydney Dennis is like, yeah, I touched it.
There's no way getting around that, right?
Yeah, she thought it was maybe going to land in, but unlucky for her, it was out.
Iowa up by 3. Dennis receives the serve. Here's Davis. She'll put it down. She's on fire right now for the Hawkeyes with a couple of blocks, and she terminates that one, 19-15.
I love that set by Mateo. That's what we call a reverse. So Mateo is going forward with her momentum. She's taking that ball and reversing it back. So all the blockers are kind of following her. Got a nice wide open net for Davis on the slide.
Like a counter play, 19-15. Davis to serve. Ohio State receives it. Middle of the floor, sending it over. Tipped at the net by the Hawkeyes. Mateo, far side Moravec. Blocked and popped up by Ohio State. They keep it alive on their side. Here's Thorpe. She'll send it down right in front of Urquhart. She got a hand on it, but couldn't lift it up to keep it from hitting the floor. 19-16. Iowa up by 3. Ohio State, you know that they're going to push here towards the end of this set.
Yeah, really important pass here from the Hawks. Keep that 3-point lead.
Yeah. Orbitzer to serve, a senior for Ohio State. She'll throw it over. Moravec sends it up for Mateo. McSweeney goes to kill it, but it's blocked by Ohio State. Then lifted over. A couple of Hawkeyes dive at it. Buettner's got it on the back line. It's going to be Moravec who top spins it over for the Buckeyes. Possession now, middle and out by Ohio State. Too deep. They cannot find that back line. Iowa, the first one to 20 in set number 1, 20-16. Gotta say, good vision by Iowa, or good feel, I guess, to tell when that's out. Nobody was even thinking about offering it that one.
Right, yeah. Good communication, especially from the bench, too, just calling that nice and early so that way nobody dives for it at the last second thinking it might be in.
Mateo, the freshman from New York City, she's going to give it a go to serve for Iowa. 20-16 Hawks in set number 1. She'll send it over. Far sideline, popped up by the Buckeyes. A rainbow pass there, far side. Buettner defends, blocks it off. Dennis sends it back to the middle. It goes off the tape, and the Hawkeyes couldn't keep it off the floor. Good effort there, but the Buckeyes will get the point. 20-17, Iowa with that 3-point lead.
Yeah, it was a good run down by Dennis, but just kind of landed right there on the tape. And if nobody's there to kind of dink it over, then not much you can do.
Ohio State serving right to left. Deep serve. Buettner will keep it in. Dennis goes far side. Urquhart blocked down. Urquhart saves it. And then Ohio State will send it down. Touched at the net by Iowa. Deflected out of bounds. But the point will go to the Buckeyes. 20-18. Iowa with the 2-point lead. This feels like a big point right here.
It does, yep. Need a good pass to get an offense rolling and get a kill here for the Hawks.
Taylor to serve for the Buckeyes. She'll slap it into the floor a couple of times and send it over. That one's deep, out again. That's the 5th error.
Yep, number 5, yep.
3 points to the Hawkeyes. We'll take them any way we can get them, 21-18.
Yeah, and just a 3-point difference in the game. Those service errors are going to play a huge role.
Moravec to serve for the Hawks. She'll spin the ball in her hand. She'll take a run at it, send it over. Good serve on the back line. Ohio State with it. She'll just tap it over, and Iowa cannot keep it in play. I think it was Dennis that got her hand on it. She dove for it, had a good read on it, but hit it over the net and then out of bounds.
A little bit of a miscommunication there. They were hesitating a little bit. I think Dennis thought maybe Ortega was going to pick that one up. It's in between the two of them. Just a tough ball to pick up.
The first time we've really seen Ohio State send it over on the second hit, right? 21-19 Iowa. Ohio State to serve. That one barely gets over the net. Ortega lifts it up there for Buettner. She'll send it over now for Iowa. Ohio State's got it near side. They'll tap it over. Ortega dives to save it. Buettner sets it up for Urquhart, who tries to lift it out on the far side. Ohio State's got it. Here's their third attempt. Spike down. Here's Dennis. Popped it up for Buettner, who lifts it over. Ohio State saves it. This is a tough play for them on their side. Mateo lifts it for Ortega, then McSweeney puts it down, and a fist bump from Coach Barnes, and the Hawks lead it by 3.
Huge point there. Really got the crowd going, momentum going in to the end of this first set. Huge point still. Got to close it out here.
Crowd loved that one as well. Dennis to serve, 22-19 Hawks. Received by Ohio State on the far side. Brought it near side. This one rides the top of the tape. Iowa's got an opportunity here. Ortega sets it up for Urquhart. She slaps it into the hand of an Ohio State defender. Now near side for the Buckeyes and deflected off of Dennis and out of bounds. 22-20, point to Ohio State.
There's London there on the outside for Ohio State. I think she's been waiting for a kill like that to get Ohio State's offense rolling. But
we said that she's probably their best player. We haven't really called her name too much.
Yeah, they've been out of system a lot just with their passing, struggling back there.
Tuman to serve for Ohio State. 22-20 is our score. Buettner, she'll send it over but hit it right into the net. Maybe a block there, but I'm not sure if it would have cleared the tape. Ohio State now within one.
Out of system set there, but I think Buettner just needs that push out just a little bit further.
22-21, Iowa leading by 1, and the Hawkeyes will call a timeout here as we approach the end of set number 1. Hawkeye fans, you can drive your team to a win this season by filling up with unleaded 88 with quick rewards at any Quick Star location. Fuel up with 8 gallons or more of unleaded 88, and you'll be automatically entered for a chance to win great prize packs throughout the season. Quick Star, proud partner of Hawkeye Volleyball. All right, 22-21 Iowa. We'll come out of the timeout in just a moment, and the Buckeyes will have the serve. What are a couple of stats that you're seeing, Reagan, that are standing out to you right now, and what's Iowa got to do to close this one out?
I think the biggest one that we've been talking about is those service errors by Ohio State. It's something that we're gonna go into the second set here, and Ohio State's really gonna make sure that doesn't happen again, because those are tons of free points that are gonna be the difference in this first set. But I think passing is going to be really important to close out this set. We need a good pass to get some offense going and finish out this set on a high note and get a win going into the second set. The Hawks have had the lead for the majority of the set here. I think it's really important for them to just close it out here and take some momentum into set 2.
It doesn't always work this way in sports, but it just feels like, Iowa's played a better set, and they kind of deserve this set a little bit more, so go out and take it. Go out and grab it.
Yes.
Ohio State to serve right to left. This will be Tuman. 22-21 Iowa. Big point right here. Tuman, she'll send it over. Moravec passes to Urquhart. Far side, Buettner. Saved by Ohio State. They bring it near side. They'll send it over tipped. Good diving play by Moravec. Ortega sets it up. Buettner taps it over. Saved by Ohio State. They'll go far side. Thorpe. Dennis passes Ortega. Oh, but it hit the net at the bottom, and it ricocheted off and gave a funny bounce to Bailey, and she couldn't come up with it. We're tied at 22.
Yeah, really hard ball to get that coming out of the net like that. It's kind of unpredictable where it's going to go. She was there with her platform, but just got an unlucky bounce out the bottom of the tape there.
All tied up at 22. Ohio State serves. Moravec lifts it up for Ortega. Far side, Buettner. Blocked, right back to Ortega. Here's Dennis, back to Buettner. Blocked down, Ohio State. They've got a wall over there, 23-22 Buckeyes, and a timeout called by Coach Barnes.
Buettner loves that cross-court shot, and I think Ohio State has kind of caught on to that. Buettner has some line open on the inside of that antenna over there, but the set has to make it all the way out there. And with it being an out-of-system set by Ortega, it's really hard to get that kind of in the perfect spot out there for Buettner to hit line.
Ohio State's taking the lead 23-22. We'll step aside, take a break. We'll be back right after this. This is Hawkeye Volleyball from Learfield, presented by Quickstar.
To anyone passing through our state, fields and fields of corn might be what they see. But the people who call Iowa home know it's so much more. Corn is ethanol, a homegrown, renewable fuel. Corn is delicious pork, beef, poultry, and dairy. Corn is in 4,000 products we rely on every day. So yeah, our highway views are full of corn, and we're proud of it. Because corn grows Iowa. Show your support for Iowa corn farmers at iowacorn.org/fan of corn.
Right at the end of set one, Ohio State's taking the lead. They're up 23-22. They're on a 4-0 run right now. Got to put a stop to it here for the Hawkeyes to try to get out of set one with a victory.
Yeah, all starts with a pass. The last couple serves by Ohio State have been out of system for the Hawks, so Bailey can't put her hands on it and have all options for an offense. So a pass is crucial here. If Ohio State does dig it up, Thorpe has been on fire on the right side for Ohio State. They got to find a way to slow her down.
Tooman resumes the serve for the Buckeyes. Right to left for Ohio State. They lead it by 1, 23-22. Here's the serve. Received by Urquhart. Ortega in the middle of the floor. Back to Urquhart. She's blocked in the middle. Again, this time Brandewie. She's been teaming up with Thorpe, and they've been blocking the last few shots by Iowa. 24-22, set point for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, kind of an unconventional play there with Urquhart running the 2-ball in the middle. Don't know if I like that play on a close set like this, but.
Ortega sets it up near side. Urquhart saved on the back line by Ohio State. They'll have an opportunity to throw it down. Here's Dennis. She saves it. Ortega sends it up for Buettner. Buettner hits it across. Ohio State, middle of the floor now. They'll throw it over and down. No, saved by Dennis. Buettner lifts it over. Still alive. Ohio State with it and out. Oh, what a pancake there by Dennis to keep it alive, and the point goes to the Hawkeyes.
That was an awesome pancake by Dennis. That's one of the trade-offs of having a triple block is that you don't have an off-blocker defender to come in and cover all those tips. So that was a great effort by Dennis to kind of slide in there and get that ball up.
We're going to have a challenge by Ohio State.
I think they're going to challenge that ball was down.
On the pancake? We won't have a monitor to take a look at it. What do you think?
I think she got it, but it was kind of a tricky angle with some players in the way. So looked to me like she got it, but.
Well, I kind of made it a little bit dramatic because I thought it was down.
I know. Like I said, there were some players in the way, and then the refs weren't calling it down yet. So
we'll have a review here. Great teamwork there. Dennis saves it. Ortega was already down there. She lifted it over to Buettner there to keep it alive. This will be close. Looks like we've got a decision as the official is talking with the folks at the scorers table. It's either set one to Ohio State or we're still alive here in set number one. Iowa's got life. We'll know in just a moment. Long discussion at the scorers table. We'll see what decision they come up with. It'll either be set one to Ohio State, and it is.
Yep, they did call it down.
Said the ball was down, and Dennis did not save it, and so that means set number one goes to Ohio State. 25-22. They go on a mad run at the end of that set, rattled off 6 or 7 points in a row, and the Buckeyes lead 1-0.
Really tough way to lose the first set on a call like that because it was such a great effort, but Hawks kind of let it get away from them at the end of that first set. They were struggling as a serving unit. They were right there the whole set, though, so got to forget about that one and come in fresh for set 2.
Yeah, we'll talk about how they'll regroup for set number 2 right after this. Ohio State takes set 1, 25-22. We're back with more right after this. This is Hawkeye Volleyball from Learfield, presented by Quickstar.
The silly moments, the proud moments, even the hard moments. They're what make life remarkable. And they're why Wellmark Blue Cross and Blue Shield is here for every moment. Committed to making healthcare better, more affordable, with more choices for care. And service and coverage that give you peace of mind no matter what comes your way. So you can show up for every tender moment, every brave moment, and every wouldn't miss it for the world moment, knowing that Blue is here for you. Go to wellmark.com/every moment to find a plan right for you.
To anyone passing through our state, fields and fields of corn might be what they see. But the people who call Iowa home know it's so much more. Corn is ethanol, a homegrown, renewable fuel. Corn is delicious pork, beef, poultry, and dairy. Corn is in 4,000 products we rely on every day. So yeah, our highway views are full of corn, and we're proud of it. Because corn grows Iowa. Show your support for Iowa corn farmers at iowacorn.org/fan of corn.
When it comes to your health, you need the full picture. That means the right diagnosis and the right treatment right from the start. I'm Aaron Bose, pediatric neurologist with University of Iowa Healthcare. Here, we're working together every day to advance medicine so you can get the best care. With more research, more clinical trials, and more treatment options than anywhere else in the state, the University of Iowa Healthcare is changing medicine and changing lives. Learn more at uihc.org.
Reagan Coyle and John Leo back at Extreme Arena. We're getting set for set number 2 between Iowa and the 21st ranked Ohio State Buckeyes. The Buckeyes come out victorious in set number 1, 25-22. It was a back and forth set. It was just Ohio State right at the end there to go on that 6-0 scoring run to take that first set.
Yeah, it stings a little bit. Hawks are right there. Like I said, that 6-0 scoring run really hurts. Just got to find a way to not let that happen again this second set. It's going to be a close one. We know that. I'm assuming we probably won't get as many free points from Ohio State this set. Those 5 service errors, I think they might make some changes to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Sure.
Nonetheless, Hawks are playing really great defense. Buechner is not her typical Buechner right now in this set, and I think that's because we're not passing well. So I think we need some good passes to get Buechner really fired up here. Moravec doing well, though, with 2 kills, hitting 500, and Nick Sweeney with 2 kills as well. And Urquhart up there with 2. Yeah, I just think starts with the pass, and they were right there. It's so close. They just need to find a way to close it out.
Let's see how these first few points turn out for the Hawks. You can't let that first set be too deflating. But on the other hand, you can say, hey, we competed hard right there with them. Felt like maybe we deserved the set, and we can certainly play with this Ohio State team. So on to set number 2. Moravec, Urquhart, Ortega, Dennis, McSweeney, and Buechner on the floor for the Hawkeyes to start the second frame. We've switched ends of the floor now, so Ohio State occupies the near half of the floor. Iowa on the far side, down there to the right. Ohio State, they've got the bench in front of us now. Buckeyes ranked 21st in the country. They've got a 3-7 record overall, but their last 7, which they've lost, all the teams in the top 18 in the country. We're ready for set number 2. It's served over to the far side. Moravec could get the first crack at it for the Hawkeyes, and she capitalizes. Point to Iowa, just like in set number 1. Iowa gets the first point in this one.
Good high swing by Moravec. Got into the block of Ohio State, and then it hit the antenna, so error by Ohio State. But I love her high, hard swings right now. She's swinging really well. That's 3 kills for her, hitting 600, no errors.
We'll get to use that momentum now to serve. Iowa 1-0 in set number 2, trailing Ohio State 1-0 in set count. Good serve by Moravec to the middle of the floor, brought near side, popped right over. Dennis with a good save for Iowa. Ortega sends it up, and nothing doing for Iowa there. She dove all the way across the floor to get it.
Yeah, Dennis was there to get that ball up. It just didn't get very high. So Bailey had to work really hard to get there quickly, kind of do something with it, but a really tough ball to set somebody up for a play there.
Tied at 1. Wipe down the floor and get ready to go now. Ohio State serving left to right. This is Riley Rader. She's set. Low dribble of the volleyball to the floor. Now she's ready. Here she goes. Sends it over. Received by Dennis. Ortega set middle for McSweeney. She'll just throw it over. Ohio State will do the same with their opportunity. Ortega pops it up there for Buettner. Buettner sends it cross court to the far side. Ohio State's got it on their far side near the net. Sent it out, but touched. Touched by the Hawkeyes. Point to Ohio State. 2-1 Buckeyes. Ohio State serving. This is received by Buettner to the middle. Ortega short set there for McSweeney, who drives it down. Point to the Hawkeyes, 2-2.
There's a good fast swing by McSweeney. The first couple we saw for her were just a little slower. That set was too low. That was a nice high set. She found the seam in between Ohio State's block to get the kill.
When it gets from Ortega to McSweeney so fast, Ohio State doesn't have time to set up, do
Exactly,
they?
yep.
Tied at 2. Good serve there by Iowa. Sent out of bounds, but recovered by Ohio State. Now top spin serve over the net. Hits the top of the tape and then just dies and falls down. Point to Ohio State.
Yeah, that's an unlucky play there for the Hawks when you looks totally like the ball is not going to make it over the net, and the tape just
killed
helps
it right
him out
there.
a little bit, yeah.
Deadens it, we should say.
Yeah.
It wasn't a kill in the volleyball sense, but 3-2 Buckeyes. They'll serve it left to right. This is a high floater that Moravec sends for Buettner now. She just fists it over, punched it over. Ohio State's got it middle of the floor now and in on their kill opportunity. A rainbow pass to the far side. Ohio State's got it. They're up 4-2. They'll continue with their serve. Tooman on the back line, the freshman. Palm it over. Ortega serves it, sets it rather near side, and then Buettner hit it out. Couple of mistakes here by Iowa, and Ohio State leads at 5-2.
That's a good idea by Buettner. I love the line shot. She just swung a little too hard crossbody. It went out of bounds. The line's open for her.
5-2 Buckeyes in set number 2. Ohio State continuing their serve. Buettner passes to Ortega. Urquhart hit it just out on the far side. Coach Barnes is curious, hey, was there a tip there? Will he review it? He will. Heads over to the end of the table and grabs the green card. And we will have a review. He thought tip at the net.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I saw it, but we're kind of far away from the action over there. I love the swing by Urquhart down the line. Like I said, the lines are open on the pins to swing at, but you can't overdo it and head it out of bounds. There's just that fine window of getting it in and get a good swing and kind of painting the sideline.
Had to be really close over there just across from us, huh?
Yeah.
Just barely out, but hopefully a touch. Otherwise it'd be 6-2 Buckeyes. Not the best start for Iowa here in set number 2, but hopefully the review goes Iowa's way. They're taking a good look at it. It's either 6-2 Ohio State or 5-3 Ohio State. And although that's just a 1-point swing, obviously, but it feels a little bit like a big point in this second set.
It does, yeah. As far as the momentum goes, I feel like it's definitely Ohio State's on a 4-0 run right now, so to kind of slow them down with getting a point here would be kind of turn this thing in the right direction for the Hawks.
Basically, if you carry it over from set 1, a 12-2 scoring run here for Ohio State. They got the last 6,
yes,
and they've got 6 of the first 8 here in set number 2. So momentum on Ohio State's side. We've got a review right now to maybe slow that down a bit in set number 2. Iowa's come out aggressive, though. They're trying to find those lines like you've talked about, Reagan, but just hitting them out as it stands right now. So we've got the decision. The official will go let those folks at the scorer's table know. A lot of pen to paper right now. Could be changing something,
maybe.
Reagan. We'll take a look, and we do have a touch. Point to the Hawkeyes. That feels big.
Yeah, they needed that for sure. Like I said, I wasn't sure it was hitting all the way over there, all the way over here, if there was a touch over there, but I think they were pretty confident and had Coach Barnes use his challenge and paid off.
Let's get on a good run here, black and gold. 5-3 Ohio State. Set number 2. Ohio State took set 1, 25-22. Iowa's got who they want serving right now. This is Urquhart. She'll throw it into the floor, get ready to serve. She'll run, she'll jump, hit it right into the middle of the net.
Not what you're looking for after winning no challenge. You need to kind of string some points together and use that momentum, so that's a tough one.
6-3 Buckeyes. Another stoppage here. Associate head coach Brian Yale, he wants to dry off the floor nearest the Hawkeye bench. Need to get the floor sweepers out there, Reagan. Come on. There we go. Now we got one.
Slow down the momentum a little bit too.
That's a good point.
But yeah, I can't have players slipping either.
I haven't noticed it too much here at Extreme. I don't know if they're starting to get the ice down underneath. I don't know, but slipped it a little bit with more condensation.
I feel like it happened a lot in Carver just with it being such a huge building. It would get, with no air conditioning, it would get pretty humid in there.
Sure, okay. Yeah. 6-3 Ohio State. They've got the serve left to right. Received by Iowa on their side. Mateo sends it up for Buettner, who pops it down. She drove it down. There's Buettner trying to find her footing in this one. 6-4 now Ohio State with the lead.
Yeah, I love that wrist away swing by Buettner. She's been blocked a couple times trying to hit it across court, but that one was more of a sharper swing at the left front there. I love that swing.
She'll get to serve. This one is over. Middle of the floor, Ohio State. Blocked by Davis again. A point to Iowa, 6-5. Iowa within 1.
A solo block by Davis.
And her
she was up there.
Third of the match. Probably been Iowa's star to this point. Buettner's serve gets over. Ohio State sends it over on one. Mateo on the slide for Davis, and boom, she puts it right down. Just a little lift right over. We're tied at 6.
Yeah, it was a good tip. She just straight over the block. The defender kind of caught her on her heels, and I think she wanted to get a good swing on that, but it was a little bit off speed of a set, so she had to tip it over, and it worked out.
Kind of faked it like she was going to send it with a good swing, and instead just tipped it over. We're tied at 6, and Ohio State will take the lead 7-6 right there. They kind of did a tip from the middle of the floor a little bit deeper, and 4 or 5 Hawkeyes dove together for it. They just found that
campfire spot.
There you go.
Yeah, it's a tough one because it's in the middle of everyone, so it causes some miscommunication on who's going to get that ball, who needs to get it up. And
that's a great description right there, the campfire spot. 7-6 Ohio State. Thorpe on one will slam it down for Ohio State, but Iowa recovers. Buettner sends it over, and this is hit out of bounds by Ohio State. Well, it was dangerous there for Iowa for a moment, but we've tied it back up at 7.
Yeah. Momentum is going to be the key to winning this set here. I think staying aggressive on the serving line, but not too aggressive to where we're making errors. Kind of stringing a couple points together for the Hawks.
Yeah, Iowa's won 4 of the last 5 points to tie things up at 7. It was 6-3 Ohio State. It's now 7-7. Iowa finding their footing. Davis will serve it for the Hawks. She'll serve it from the far side, brings it cross court near side. Ohio State middle of the floor now outside and deep. Went for the good swing, good drive by Ohio State, but long, out of bounds. Iowa's got the lead 8-7. Davis to serve again. She operates from the far corner, totally diagonal from our broadcast position. Rainbow pass, middle of the floor for Ohio State. Tipped up. Iowa saves it. Davis brings it over. Middle of the floor now for Ohio State. And sent down. Saved by Urquhart. Ohio State doesn't think so. We've got play still going on. Ohio State's got it far side. Drive opportunity blocked out of bounds. Ohio State will win the point regardless, and we're tied at 8.
I do think that ball was down. I think Urquhart knows that ball was down too, but the refs thought it was up. So the play resumed, and Ohio State got the point anyway, so no need for a challenge.
The Buckeye coaches were up in arms, literally. Sprinting towards the net, thought it was down, and either way, Ohio State gets the point. We're tied at 8. Buckeyes will serve it. This will be Morbitzer. Left to right for Ohio State. Their scarlet uniforms. Iowa counters with gold. That sharp-looking black and gold that Iowa wears. We're tied at 8. Here's the serve from Ohio State. Received by Buechner on the back line. McSweeney will have an opportunity. She sends it down. Ohio State in pursuit. They cannot get to it. A poor pass. Good job there by McSweeney. Hawks lead at 9-8.
Looks like that's her 4th kill. She's hitting really well for the Hawks, and I love her on that slide too. Just kind of switch things up. It was a nice deep swing. Hard to defend.
Good crowd on hand this Sunday afternoon. They're making some noise too. Been pretty vocal. There's a contingent behind us that they're chirping a little bit. Adding a little spice to this match today. Iowa leads at 9-8. The floor sweepers are out again. Trying to keep the court dry. 9-8 Iowa in set number 2. Ready for the serve. This is Mateo. A higher serve towards the back line, cross court near side. Sent to the far side now for Ohio State. Blocked at the line. A touch there for the Hawks. And it'll find the floor on Iowa's side. We're tied once again at 9.
Coming in for the Hawkeyes, number 12, Bailey Ortega. Back to serve for Ohio State, number 11, Sydney Taylor.
Taylor to serve for the Buckeyes. Shorter serve, Ortega to McSweeney, and McSweeney couldn't get it over the net. A miss hit there from Delaney, and Ohio State will have the lead 10-9. Try to go with that quick action there, Ortega to McSweeney, and just maybe a little mistiming there. Buckeyes lead by 1. Buechner receives the serve. Ortega middle of the floor, McSweeney. Miss hit by Ohio State. Good kill there by McSweeney. She got her revenge on that one.
Yeah, there's that good connection that we like to see between Ortega and McSweeney. Ortega's kind of moving forward with her momentum. Requires some communication. She's going to continue to set that one ball behind her for McSweeney, so it's important that McSweeney keeps on her route, keeps running, even though Ortega is kind of out of her normal spot there as a setter. Yeah, lots of sweat wiping today.
Yeah, it's been about after every point. I don't remember that being the case in earlier in the season. 10-10 is our score. Moravec will serve it. Middle of the floor and deep. Now brought near side on a slide for Ohio State. Deflected off of Ortega and out of bounds. Point to the Buckeyes.
They're kind of going point for point now with the Buckeyes. Not huge momentum swings one way or the other. Just kind of one point after another.
Great effort by Iowa to get back in this set. It wasn't looking the best at the beginning, but
definitely
good job by Coach Barnes' team to get back near even. Here's McSweeney. She will tie it up. The Hawks are really rolling with that offense right there.
That's another back one set by Ortega. Since McSweeney is in the middle, Ortega's moving forward. The Ohio State's middle blocker is not expecting that ball to kind of come behind Ortega and still run McSweeney. It's been working, and I think they should keep going for it.
Tied at 11. Dennis to serve. Sent one low to the floor. Ortega, with a little set pass over the net. She's got another opportunity now. Davis hit it out. Was there a touch? No. Point to Ohio State, 12-11.
Yeah, rare error by Davis.
Just missed it. Ohio State up by 1. Tooman will serve. Received by the Hawkeyes. Ortega gives it to Davis, who redirects it over. Ohio State in a little bit of a frenzy. Ortega to Davis and down. That'll find the floor on Ohio State's side. Terminated there by Davis. We're tied at 12. You think you came into this set with the passing needed to improve for Iowa. Have you sensed that in this set?
Definitely. I think Bailey is only able to run those middles when we have good passes. So the middles are on fire right now for Iowa, both McSweeney and Davis. So I think that is showing the pass is doing well too.
Good short serve there by Urquhart. Thorpe. Good dig by Dennis. Near side, Buechner. She'll hit it off of Thorpe's forearm. Out of bounds. Point to Iowa. The 13-12 lead is the first for the Hawkeyes since 1-0.
Love that swing by Buechner. Call that a 4-4 because she's hitting from zone 4. She's hitting zone 4 on the other side of the court. Such a sharp angle. Great swing.
13-12 Iowa. Urquhart to serve. We'll send it over to the near side. Another short serve. Popped up there by Ohio State. Far side Thorpe. This time she connects. Touched at the net. And found the line anyway on that back baseline. We're tied at 13.
I think the mop guy has a fan club on the back line there.
Yeah, I wonder. I was wondering the same thing. Every time he comes out, the mop guys have a large support system on hand today. We're tied at 13. Ohio State with the serve. Here's Buechner with an opportunity. Good save by Ohio State. They'll go far side with it now. Their third hit. Urquhart saves it for the Hawkeyes. Dennis passes near side Buechner. She'll lift it over. A little top spin opportunity, middle of the floor for Ohio State. Now that's way out. Good vision and feel by the Hawkeyes not to go after that one. Way out of bounds. 14-13 Hawks.
Lots of out-of-system play in that rally. I love that line swing by Buechner to kind of switch it up. It's a nice hard line swing. Ohio State dug it up, but I love that she's just kind of putting the ball all over the court.
Buechner to serve, and she hit it out. First service error in a while for the Hawks. Just their fourth of the game, of the match rather. It'll tie us back up at 14. Buckeyes serving. Here's a knuckleballer sent on the far side. Here's Moravec. Had it blocked right back to her. Moravec will send it down. A kill for Natalie. On her second opportunity, Iowa's got the lead right back. Let's see if we can build on it, get up by more than one.
Yeah, that was an awesome fast swing by Moravec. She found some space in between the block of Ohio State and just put a dent in the floor with that swing. She hit that one really hard.
15-14 Iowa in set number 2. Davis will serve. Nice hard flat serve. Caught Ohio State by surprise. They'll send it over on their third. Urquhart pass far side. Mateo brought it back middle of the floor. Buechner just has to send it over. Ohio State goes middle of the floor on opportunity of their own. Urquhart will save it to the middle. Who's there? Moravec is there. And Ohio State's got it. A lot of frenzied action right now. McSweeney, did she find the line? Looked like she did from here. We've got a touch call on the back line. Walk us through that, Reagan. Get us caught up to speed. I think it's point to the Hawks.
It is. So they called Ohio State in the net. So they got the point there. But the ball was inbounds, so even if they weren't in the net, I think Iowa was going to challenge it and win it because it did hit the gray.
Somebody would have had to flag down Coach Barnes and say, get that green card, that green challenge card back out. We've got, that was the best look that we've had on one.
It really was.
Yeah, that one hit the line. So point to the Hawkeyes, 16-14. Okay, up by more than one. Let's make it up by more than two right now.
Yes.
Davis to serve. She's been the star for the Hawkeyes today, doing it all for the black and gold. She'll send it over. Nice flat serve. Got over the net. Received by Ohio State. Far side. Third opportunity. Blocked by McSweeney. Mateo is there as well, but it's McSweeney that forces the Ohio State timeout. Hawks lead 17-14.
Love the momentum right now, all in the Hawks' favor. They just kind of have to keep their foot on the gas pedal and keep pushing points here as we reach the end of the second set.
Yeah, giving Ohio State maybe a little taste of the same medicine that they gave us in the first set, where it felt like Iowa controlled all of set one until the very end. It's felt like Ohio State's controlled set number two. Hopefully we're changing the tune on that right now. Iowa's stormed back and has a 17-14 lead in set number two, trying to even things up between the Buckeyes and the Hawkeyes. We've got a timeout called by Ohio State. Iowa up by 3 near the end of set number 2. Here in Iowa, we grow corn, but the truth is corn grows Iowa. Corn benefits the entire state. It feeds our livestock, nourishes our families, and provides homegrown, clean burning fuel for our vehicles. Thank you to Iowa's corn farmers. Hawkeyes lead by 3, 17-14. Ohio State has broken their huddle. They're back on the floor. Coach Barnes still addressing his team down to the right. Whatever lesson you maybe learned in set number 1, try to have it down pat for set number 2 and not let Ohio State back in.
Exactly. Yep. That's going to be the key here. Got to keep the foot on the gas. Got to stay aggressive from the service line. Also have to stay aggressive at the net, too. Hawks are doing really well blocking, kind of stopping Ohio State's offensive firepower. Just got to keep doing that.
Davis to serve right to left for Iowa. She's in that far corner diagonal from us. She'll throw it over, received by Ohio State, near side pass. Thorpe will hit it out, but a touch at the net by the Hawkeyes. Point to Ohio State. 17-15, Iowa with the 2-point lead here in set number 2.
Yeah, Thorpe has been hitting really well for Ohio State. That puts her at 7 kills, hitting 600 from the right side. She's leading Ohio State with efficiency. She is automatic back there.
Buckeyes to serve. We'll see if Iowa can get it right back, leading by 2. Here's the serve. Looked almost like it might have been deep. Oh, Moravec with a nice, Mateo with a nice pass over. Ohio State counters. Mateo sets it for McSweeney. Third opportunity for the Buckeyes now. Backline Buettner, near side. Buettner's got it back. Sends it over on 2. And Moravec with a kill opportunity. Ohio State's kept it alive. Send it over. Mateo serving it, setting it now for Moravec. Ohio State's got it. Here's a spinner, hit off the middle of the floor. Still going. Moravec pushes it over. Long rally here. Ohio State on their opportunity. Dennis saves it. Tapped over by Moravec. We're still going. Buckeyes tapped. Saved by the Hawkeyes, but down. And a point goes to Ohio State.
Tough end to the rally there. Moravec was there. She put a hand out to try to help Dennis pop that ball up, but Dennis was actually there to get the ball up. She was diving already, so nobody was there to get that second contact. Good defensive rally, though.
Iowa with a 1-point lead, 17-16 in set number 2. The Buckeyes with the serve left to right. They're ready. No errors from the Buckeyes in the service department. Here's McSweeney pushing it over. Tap down. Here's Dennis with a diving stop. Moravec will spike it down, but blocked at the net by Ohio State and sent down. We're tied at 17.
Yeah, Tuman was there for Ohio State. She was ready for that hard Moravec swing and finally got one.
Iowa will call a timeout. All knotted up at 17. The timeout favored Ohio State on the last one. They took one at 17-14. They've rattled off 3 points in a row now. And hopefully Coach Barnes' timeout will have the same effect as we're approaching the end of set number 2. Tied at 17 between Iowa and the 21st ranked Ohio State Buckeyes. The exciting moments, the proud moments, even the hard moments. Wellmark Blue Cross and Blue Shield is here for it all as your healthcare champion, making healthcare more affordable with more choices for care and peace of mind no matter what comes your way. Find the plan right for you at wellmark.com/touchdown. All right, Ohio State's even things back up in set number 2. 17 apiece. Still got a ways to go. The Buckeyes will have the serve. Probably starts with a good pass to get us set up offensively.
Absolutely, yeah. It feels very similar to the first set, and in that it's just point for point. It's going to come down to the wire again, and it's going to be who makes the least amount of errors.
I feel like Iowa's played a relatively clean set, with maybe the exception of the first 5 or so points of this one, but again, very competitive, playing hard, right there, right on the doorstep of taking down Ohio State in this set, and we'll see how the final few points go here. All knotted up at 17. Buckeyes with the serve left to right. Dennis, Mateo, Buettner, McSweeney, Urquhart on the floor for the Hawkeyes, along with Moravec. Serve is received, but then a miscommunication. Dennis and Buettner came together. Not solid contact there. It'll be an ace for Ohio State, 18-17. They've got the lead now. One over the net, and another ace. Dennis had to dive for it. Couldn't get good contact on it. 19-17. Ohio State's got the lead, and another timeout called by Coach Barnes. Got to have it right now. Ohio State rattling off 5 points in a row. They lead at 19-17. We'll take the timeout with them. We're back with more right after this. This is Hawkeye Volleyball from Learfield, presented by Quickstar.
Our mission at Oak Knoll is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, CEO. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served the Iowa City area for 57 years. Oak Knoll is located near University of Iowa hospitals and clinics, Kinnick Stadium, Carver Hawkeye Arena, Hancher Auditorium, and downtown Iowa City. Visit our website at oaknall.com to learn more. We're a proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics. Go Hawks!
Reagan Coyle and John Leo back at Extreme Arena, set number 2 between Iowa and Ohio State. The Buckeyes have taken the 19-17 lead in this set. They used some similar tactics to pull out set number 1, so Ohio State won that 25-22. The Hawkeyes trying to avoid going down 2-0 here. Got to come back a little bit here in this one.
Definitely. Morbitzer is definitely bringing the heat from the service line for Ohio State. Hawks have to find a way to get in front of that ball, get a good pass, and get a good kill here. Get some momentum going.
Back-to-back errors for the Hawkeyes. 19-17 Ohio State. They'll go after Dennis again. Good pass near side now, and Moravec sent it down. This one is popped out to Ohio State's bench. Not an active player on the floor. 19-18, point to the Hawkeyes.
Timeout was worth it. They went right back to Dennis with that hard float serve. She dimes it and gets a good pass by Moravec.
Mateo will serve. Big serve coming right here. She'll send it cross court near side. Couple of Buckeyes run into each other. Go far side on their third opportunity. Tapped up for Buettner. Mateo goes to McSweeney. It's blocked by Ohio State at the net. They'll try to send it over on 2. Can't. Blocked right back to him. Here's another opportunity. Good block at the net by Iowa. Mateo goes far side. Urquhart. She'll try to throw it down. Ohio State saves it. And that is a point to the Hawkeyes there.
Yeah, they called a double on the setter there.
All right. Not clean contact, right? We're tied at 19. Mateo to serve once again for Iowa. Back in it. We're tied at 19. Every point feels so tense, doesn't it?
Yes.
Kaya takes a run at it, sends it over. Received by Ohio State. They'll send it over on 2. Mateo saves it. Dennis sends it up for Moravec. Tapped at the line and down for the Hawkeyes. 20-19. Iowa's the first to 20 once again in this set. They did it in the first set but couldn't close it out. 20-19 Hawkeyes in set number 2.
Love the line shot by Moravec. Not a super hard swing, but she's been hitting cross court her last few swings with authority. So she switches it up, goes a little off speed, but that line is wide open for her because the block is set up inside to cover her cross. And she's got London on the line there to get that ball, and easy target there.
Mateo's got the hot hand. 20-19 Iowa. Received and hit over by Ohio State, and they'll tie it up 20-20. There's a kill for Raider. Hawkeyes will sub. Ortega in, Mateo out. Good run there by Mateo. Ohio State will serve, tied at 20. Taylor will offer it over left to right. Bounce the ball in her hand and send it over. Look deep, and it is. She hit it long. There's one of those service errors. First one that Ohio State's hit in this set.
Yes.
6th total. You were right on that, that they wouldn't be giving us very many free points the rest of the way. There's one. That could be a big one. 21-20 Iowa in set number 2. Moravec to serve. She'll take a run at it right to left. Here it comes. Over the net. Received by Ohio State, set far side, blocked at the net, and did that stay in? No, it didn't. It rode the top of the net over to the near side off the deflection by Iowa. We're tied at 21.
Yeah, that was a good block setup. Unlucky that it landed out of bounds because they were in the perfect spot.
Raider to serve now for the Ohio State Buckeyes, left to right. Big finish to set number 2. Feels like a swing set. Ohio State will send it over with a nice flat serve. Ortega for McSweeney. Tried to terminate it, couldn't. Good save by Ohio State. Far side block, popped up into the air. Urquhart will pass. Ortega set for McSweeney. She almost hit it out, stayed in, joust at the net. Whose point is this going to? It will be the Hawkeyes' point.
Yeah, another net call for Ohio State. They've been in the net a few times tonight. Those tough balls just that are right on the tape are really hard to stay out of it when you're trying to press over so hard.
Yeah, both Hawkeyes and Buckeyes going at it at the same time. Dennis to serve, 22-21. There's a sort of a rainbow serve, just got it over Ohio State. They terminate it there with a good kill by the Buckeyes. Good effort there by the Hawks, but Hit it in a place where there was not a Hawkeye to go retrieve it. We're tied again at 22. Going to come right down to it, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Buckeyes to serve. Left to right. Here's Tooman. She's been pretty good for Ohio State, the freshman. A good serving opportunity for the Buckeyes. This one hit the top of the net. It did not go over. Another error for the Buckeyes in the service department. 23-22 Hawks. And look who's back to serve, Urquhart.
Love it. Need a good clean serve here. She's had a couple service errors, which is unlike her. Need a good one now.
Was outstanding against Minnesota the other night. She'll send it over. Good flat serve. Ohio State with a kill. Even on that good, strong serve from Urquhart, they got 2 good passes out of it and set up their offense well.
Yep, and that was Solana on the right side. She transitioned from a right side to being their outside hitter, so right side is kind of her home. That was a nice, easy swing for her.
Tied at 23. Ohio State, they've got the serve. Here it comes. Over. Clipped the net. Mateo sets it up for Buettner. Buettner set now near side. Thorpe will try to hit it over. Blocked at the net. Guess who? Davis, yes. 24-23 Hawks. And that'll bring those that are dressed in black and gold. They'll come to their feet now. Set point Hawkeyes, but not before an Ohio State timeout.
That's 4 blocks by Davis. She is touching everything up there in the front row and just creating such a huge presence for Ohio State's offense.
Really done a nice job, Davis, with yet another block for the Hawkeyes. 24-23 Iowa. Look for Davis, her career high, 6 blocks against Missouri State earlier this year. She's 7. Looking at the right number, yeah. Her career high is 7 back in 2021 at USF, at South Florida. She's approaching that number. She's more than halfway there. Season best for Davis, 6 against Missouri State. Doing a nice job for the Hawkeyes. She's got 4 today, and they've all felt like they've come at big times of the match, and that's certainly no exception there to give Iowa the lead and set point here, 24-23. Up to see who comes out to serve for the Hawkeyes. Try to put this one away. Huge opportunity for the black and gold. 24-23 Hawks trying to tie it up with 21st ranked Ohio State. It'll be Buettner to serve. Down there to the right. Coach Barnes gives her the assignment where she's supposed to hit it. Let's see if she executes. The fans are on their feet. Here's the serve from Buettner on the near side. Middle of the floor for Ohio State. They slide near side. Did they hit it out? No, they hit it in. It caught the line. Maybe a touch at the net. I'm not sure. We were blocked from view, but it was in on that back line. We're tied at 24.
Yeah, just a deep swing where no defender was for Iowa. Smart shot.
Buckeyes to serve. It's a low serve. Nobody can get to it for Iowa. I guess Dennis had first contact, and then it split Mateo and Davis, and all of a sudden Ohio State's got set point now. 25-24 Buckeyes. They'll serve for the set. Serve over. Dennis. High pass. Mateo sets it up for Moravec. This is popped up towards the net. Ohio State sends it down. Kill for the Buckeyes. Iowa could not finish the set. And the Buckeyes lead 2 sets to none. 26-24. Nail-biter set. The Hawks are right there, but can't quite seal the deal on that one. And Ohio State 2, Iowa nothing. We'll go to a third set coming up right after this. This is Hawkeye Volleyball from Learfield, presented by Quick Start.
The silly moments, the proud moments, even the hard moments. They're what make life remarkable. And they're why Wellmark Blue Cross and Blue Shield is here for every moment. Committed to making healthcare better, more affordable, with more choices for care. And service and coverage that give you peace of mind no matter what comes your way. So you can show up for every tender moment, every brave moment, and every wouldn't miss it for the world moment, knowing that Blue is here for you. Go to Wellmark.com/every moment to find a plan right for you.
To anyone passing through our state, fields and fields of corn might be what they see. But the people who call Iowa home know it's so much more. Corn is ethanol, a homegrown, renewable fuel. Corn is delicious pork, beef, poultry, and dairy. Corn is in 4,000 products we rely on every day. So yeah, our highway views are full of corn, and we're proud of it. Because corn grows Iowa. Show your support for Iowa corn farmers at iowacorn.org/fan of corn.
Our mission at Oak Knoll is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, CEO. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served the Iowa City area for 57 years. Oak Knoll is located near University of Iowa hospitals and clinics, Kinnick Stadium, Carver Hawkeye Arena, Hancher Auditorium, and downtown Iowa City. Visit our website at oakknoll.com to learn more. We're a proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics. Go Hawks!
I'm Ingrid Lizarraga, breast surgeon at the University of Iowa Holden Comprehensive Cancer Center, the state's only NCI-designated cancer center. Here, we look beyond just the type of cancer you have to discover the molecular details of the disease. We have teams dedicated to each cancer type, with treatments and trials you won't find anywhere else in Iowa. Go to uihc.org/cancer.
The silly moments, the proud moments, even the hard moments. They're what make life remarkable. And they're why Wellmark Blue Cross and Blue Shield is here for every moment. Committed to making healthcare better, more affordable, with more choices for care. And service and coverage that give you peace of mind no matter what comes your way. So you can show up for every tender moment, every brave moment, and every wouldn't miss it for the world moment, knowing that Blue is here for you. Go to wellmark.com/every moment to find a plan right for you.
To anyone passing through our state, fields and fields of corn might be what they see. But the people who call Iowa home know it's so much more. Corn is ethanol, a homegrown, renewable fuel. Corn is delicious pork, beef, poultry, and dairy. Corn is in 4,000 products we rely on every day. So yeah, our highway views are full of corn, and we're proud of it. Because corn grows Iowa. Show your support for Iowa corn farmers at iowacorn.org/fan of corn.
Our mission at Oak Knoll is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, CEO. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served the Iowa City area for 57 years. Oak Knoll is located near University of Iowa hospitals and clinics, Kinnick Stadium, Carver Hawkeye Arena, Hancher Auditorium, and downtown Iowa City. Visit our website at oakknoll.com to learn more. We're a proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics. Go Hawks!
I'm Ingrid Lizarraga, breast surgeon at the University of Iowa Holden Comprehensive Cancer Center, the state's only NCI-designated cancer center. Here, we look beyond just the type of cancer you have to discover the molecular details of the disease. We have teams dedicated to each cancer type, with treatments and trials you won't find anywhere else in Iowa. Go to uihc.org/cancer.
Welcome back to Extreme Arena. Iowa Hawkeye Volleyball on the air from Coralville today. Reagan Coyle alongside John Leo. I'm filling in for John Evans today. Ohio State leads 2-0 and separated by 5 points total. 25-22, Ohio State took set one. They just grabbed set number 2, 26-24. The Hawks are right there. Just seems like can't finish, can't deliver that finishing blow. We've had the Buckeyes on the ropes a couple of times now today.
Yeah, it just feels so close. Hawks are no strangers to five-setters, so it's not out of the picture for them to fight back and take this to 5, and I'm sure that's exactly what they're trying to do now. It just feels like it gets to the end of the set, and it's just so close, and we just can't find a way to find a player that we can count on to put the ball away and be automatic at the end of the set.
Hawkeyes are 1-2 in 5-set matches. Hopefully we get to update that and draw it even. That's what's going to take if Iowa's going to win this today. Down 2-0 to Ohio State. The Buckeyes and Hawkeyes flip ends of the floor now, so Iowa's occupying the near side, and Ohio State's got the far side of the floor down to the right. It was a slower start to the set. In the previous set, Iowa got out to a decent one in set number 1, but see if Iowa can build a lead. The Hawks have had the lead numerous times, several times, but really never more than like 3 or 4 points. See if the Hawks can build something a little bit bigger. 1 point at a time. Moravec serves it over for the Hawkeyes to get us started, and immediately a block attempt by the Hawks, but the ball deflects off of McSweeney and out of bounds. Point to the Buckeyes to start. That's a little bit different than the first 2 sets.
Yeah, unlucky there off the block. It was a really off-speed swing by London. Just catches the block and lands out of bounds.
Ohio State serving now, right to left. This one over the net. Ortega in the middle to McSweeney. She had it blocked right in the middle, and then right back to her, and then ricocheted off of the net. Urquhart couldn't quite get to it. Point to the Buckeyes, 2-0 Ohio State.
Yeah, I think McSweeney wishes she had that one back. It's hard when the ball comes down on your side of the net and it's so close and you feel like you have to kind of jab at it, but really you can just kind of let it come down off the net, use your platform to pop it up nice and high so that way somebody can get a second contact on it.
Hawkeyes will try to slow Ohio State down now. Moravec receives the serve. Ortega far side Buettner, tipped at the net. Saved by Ohio State. They'll go near side now, sending it over. Buettner keeps it alive. Ortega middle for McSweeney, blocked right back to us. Ortega goes far side Buettner. She'll lift it over. Ohio State, far side, tipped at the net and then down. Weak deflection off of the block attempt. Point to Ohio State. 3-0 Buckeyes.
Yeah, lots of off-speed play at the net, lots of block touches and tips happening at the net. Iowa needs a good pass here. Let's get a kill, get a hard swing.
Ohio State serving. Moravec for Ortega. Far side, Buettner hit it out. 4-0 Ohio State. That's going to be a quick timeout from Coach Barnes. Slow things down here a bit. 4-0 Ohio State. And Coach Barnes has to take a quick timeout here in the early going of set number 3. Now, what have you seen so far, Ray?
Feels like slow motion a little bit. It's not that Ohio State is doing an amazing thing. It's just lots of weird rallies and plays and kind of off-speed shots that are just hitting the floor where nobody is, and just feels, yeah, slow motion. I think it's a good opportunity for the Hawks to get a good pass here and turn things around now before Ohio State just keeps, going on their runs, and it just feels like a game of runs, towards the beginning and the end of sets.
I think you make a good point. Just, and not to take anything away from Ohio State, but just feels a little bit unlucky. I think they've got 4 points, and at least 2 of their points have come off of relatively weak contact. That's just been unlucky deflections on the Iowa side. So 4-0 Ohio State. It was a relatively player-focused, player-led timeout there. Coach Barnes was there to listen in and offer a brief comment, but mainly the players to bring the energy. So we'll see how that impacts them coming out of this timeout.
And that's what it's going to take if they're going to take this thing to 5. It's got to come from the players. There's really not much left for Coach Barnes to say. It's got to come from the team, and the leaders need to step up and lead the way and really fight to win this set and take it to 5.
Iowa looking for their first point in set number 3, trailing Ohio State 4-0. Buckeyes with the serve. Dennis will receive it. Ortega middle. McSweeney tapped at the line. There's the point for the Hawkeyes. Deflected at the net on the block attempt. McSweeney makes them pay there, 4-1.
Yeah, good high swing for her. When she contacts the ball high, it just lands so deep on the court, it's hard for the defense to pick that one up, and I love the shot there.
Hawkeyes trail by 3. Going to try to pull closer here with Sydney Dennis to serve. Flat serve over, far side for the Buckeyes. Rainbow pass, near side. Moravec saves it. Dennis with great effort. Got to get it over here. Ortega sends it over. Ohio State, middle of the floor, bringing it near side now. Blocked at the net. Ohio State, they save it, send it over on 2. Ortega sets it near side. Urquhart goes near side, back line. Ohio State with possession. Blocked again by Davis and Urquhart at the net. Buettner saves it, back line Moravec. It'll be Buettner who has to shovel it over for the Hawkeyes. Long rally here. Ohio State on 3, tapped by Dennis and out. Point to the Buckeyes.
It's a good rally, but a couple free balls sent over by Iowa, so just lots of opportunities for Ohio State to run something right back with the free ball. have all their offensive options ready to go. Just need a kill there somewhere in that rally to end it. But Ohio State played really great defense.
5-1 Buckeyes. 2 men to serve right to left for Ohio State. Dennis receives the serve. Middle of the floor, Ortega. Far side, Buettner. And she drives it down. There's a kill for Buettner.
That's the momentum they're going to need to string points together and to make it a close game again. They're only down by 3, but it feels like more than that just with the slow start.
Urquhart to serve for the black and gold. Now Ohio State leads set 3, 5-2. Urquhart sends it over. Hard serve to the back line. High pass now for Ohio State's Thorpe. Good block, but good stop there by Moravec. Kept it alive for the Hawkeyes. Ohio State's side of the floor now. They'll send it over, and it finds a sweet spot right in the middle of the floor. Moravec went diving for it again. Point to Ohio State. 6-2. Got it right over our blockers there.
Yeah, campfire spot once again. Really tricky for players to communicate whose ball that is. Love to see Urquhart pull off the net and kind of cover that a little bit, but just a tough ball.
6-2 Ohio State. Here's Urquhart fielding the serve. Buettner just has to send it over. Urquhart will pass far side. Buettner deflected at the net by Ohio State. High pass middle of the floor. Lifted up. Urquhart. Mateo, she'll go far side for it. Great idea and a good point there for the Hawkeyes. Mateo on 2. With a little tap to the far side.
Yeah, Mateo doesn't set her dump very often, but when she does, I feel like it's very effective because a lot of teams, when they watch film, they're not expecting her to do that. So I love the decision by her and to get a kill there for her own column.
6-3, Ohio State up 3. Iowa trying to inch closer. Blocked initially by Davis, and then Urquhart could not get to it off the deflection. 7-3, unlucky bounce there, a good attempt there by Davis and effort there by Urquhart. 7-3 Buckeyes. Ohio State to serve. This is Hoffman. Over for Dennis. Mateo middle of the floor. Davis on the slide. Blocked by Ohio State. Middle of the floor. Their opportunity is good. 8-3 Buckeyes.
Yeah, there's London out of the back row. She's very aggressive option coming out of the back row, even with that back row attack, and very effective when she does so.
Yeah, she's the Big Ten's leader in kills per set. Ohio State up 5. Iowa trying to get back into it. Davis sends it over for the Hawkeyes. In the middle of the floor now for Ohio State. Urquhart fields it. Far side for Buettner. I guess rather middle of the floor. Thought the set was going to the far side. Ohio State pushes it over. Mateo middle of the floor. Far side for Moravec. Popped up on one. Dennis middle of the floor for the Hawkeyes. Far side again for Moravec. Slaps it down and good for a point for Iowa. 8-4. It'll be important to get Iowa have the serve back.
Love that Mateo went back to Moravec. Even though she didn't get a kill on her first hard swing, she says, here, let me give you another one. Takes the swing again. Moravec sends it line, gets a kill.
Anna Davis to serve for the Hawkeyes. Iowa trailing 8-4 in set number 3. Davis runs up, sends it over, far side. Pass to the middle of the floor, and again, this is Rader. Just taps it down. Didn't even need a full swing on it. It was just a kind of like a pop straight down. 9-4 Ohio State.
Yeah, again in that campfire spot, it's just kind of wide open for Iowa, and nobody seems to want to really pursue that ball.
Ohio State serving. Dennis passes forward to Mateo, who set it up nicely for Buettner, but was blocked at the net. 10-4 Buckeyes. You talk about that campfire spot, just that sort of circular formation there where Iowa can't get to it. What's that adjustment that has to be made? Somebody come forward or go backwards?
Somebody has to communicate that they're going to go for those no matter what, so it doesn't create so much hesitation to who it's going to be.
There's a nice block at the net by Moravec. Mateo goes with the setter dump again, but Ohio State's ready for it this time. This is off the top of the net. Mateo sets it up, far side Moravec. She'll throw it over. Ohio State stays alive somehow. Mateo sets it up for McSweeney. This is blocked and point to the Hawkeyes. Kind of a sloppy mess the whole way around there, but we'll take it any way we can get it. 10-5 Ohio State.
Yeah, it looks like there was kind of a lift there on Ohio State's side. I didn't love the contact there, but Hawks got the point.
Mateo to serve, left to right for Iowa. Hawkeyes trail by 5, down 2-0, trying to mount a comeback against the nationally ranked Ohio State Buckeyes. Moravec tried to push it back down, but didn't work. 11-5 Ohio State. We touched the net there.
It was an overpass by Ohio State, and I think the Ohio State right side there was up there, kind of just tipped it just enough so that way it stayed in bounds. Moravec wasn't quite ready for it to come over.
Buckeyes up 6. Dennis receives the serve. Here's a near side opportunity for Moravec. Defended nicely by Ohio State. Near side for the Buckeyes. They'll send it to the back line. Out. Tried to get aggressive there. Maybe a good idea by the Buckeyes, but their execution wasn't there. Serve back to the Hawkeyes. Now 11-6 Ohio State. Moravec will serve for the black and gold, trying to get Iowa back into it. 1 point at a time. Moravec ready. Here it comes. Good serve. High pass to the middle of the floor. Set up to the same spot. That one's out again. Not good contact on the spinner by Ohio State. A miss hit. We'll take it 11-7. Hawks within 4.
Yeah, taking advantage of the Ohio State errors is huge here.
They're getting a little sloppy on their end. Let's see if we can continue to make them pay. Iowa down 11-7. Moravec to serve. Left to right. Here it comes. Good strong serve over, but out. Hit it deep. That's about the first time that we've seen Ohio State lay off one of those.
Yeah, that one's sailing. They decided to not touch that one.
Buckeyes have the serve now, 12-7. They've got the lead. Raiders serves it over. Moravec ready for it. Middle of the floor, Ortega. And there's a nice kill on the far side. Buettner got around those blockers, in between the antenna and the blockers, and found the line.
Yes.
12-8.
Love that line swing. She hits with such an aggressive intent, too. No defender can pick that one up.
Tried it a couple of times today. Ohio State's been in good position. That time got through. 12-8, Iowa down 4. Good serve by Dennis. And that one is out, but tipped at the line, rather at the net. 13-8. Ohio State gets the point back. Trying to get consecutive points. Haven't had much success doing that here in the third set. Ohio State maintaining their 5-point lead. 13-8. This one just floats over the net. Ortega sets it up for Davis, and she kills it.
It's kill number 4 for Davis. She's automatic on that slide, and she's moving it around the court, too. She's hit a couple crossbody and a couple wrists away, kind of down the line, and she's hitting 333 as a middle, which is awesome. I think it might jump up here. The stats are just a little behind.
13-9. Urquhart to serve. Good serve that took a dive towards the end of the line. Ohio State and Iowa jump together at the net for it. And the Buckeyes win the point. Hitting the back line there. Coach Barnes questioning something. Not getting the benefit. The point goes to the Buckeyes. 14-9. Serve from the middle of the floor to the middle of the floor. Dennis mishit it, and Mateo could not get there in time before it fell to the floor. 15-9 Ohio State. Ohio State with matching their biggest lead of the set at 15-9. Good serve. Buettner sends it over on 3. Here's Ohio State. Opportunity. A lot of spinners going around now. Here's Buettner, far side. Tries to hit it down the line. Ohio State saves it. They've got it far side. Thorpe sends it. Blocked right back down. That's the combination of Buettner and Davis right there. And they stuffed Thorpe. Point to the Hawks.
Huge point there to kind of end Ohio State's run and to create some momentum for the Hawks. As built just kind of slow motion And the crowd was really quiet. The team was really quiet, just to kind of create a spark here.
15-10. Hawkeyes within 5. Buettner to serve. Pops it over with a short, soft serve. Middle of the floor, Thorpe sends it over. Mateo pops it up high into the air. Here's Moravec, tapped at the net and deflected out of bounds. Point to the Hawkeyes there. Iowa trying to pick up some momentum. Good passing there. And good effort.
Yeah, another good line swing by Moravec. That's her 8th kill. She's hitting really well on the outside today.
Iowa scrapping and fighting and clawing. They stay in this one. Ohio State 15, Iowa 11. Timeout Buckeyes. Try to slow this brief run by the Hawks. Ohio State with a 2-0 lead over the Hawkeyes, but Iowa hanging tough here in the third. Ohio State 15, Iowa 11. We're back right after this. This is Hawkeye Volleyball from Learfield, presented by Quick Start.
Our mission at Oak Knoll is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, CEO. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served the Iowa City area for 57 years. Oak Knoll is located near University of Iowa hospitals and clinics, Kinnick Stadium, Carver Hawkeye Arena, Hancher Auditorium, and downtown Iowa City. Visit our website at oakknoll.com to learn more. We're a proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics. Go Hawks!
Welcome back to Extreme Arena. Set number 3 between Iowa and Ohio State. Opening weekend of conference play for the Hawkeyes. Dropped a tough one to Minnesota earlier in the week, trying to get to even in conference play. If they can knock off Ohio State today, it's going to take 5 sets for Iowa, trailing Ohio State 2-0 now. And that's what Coach Barnes challenged his team in that huddle, said, play with a purpose every single point. Let's get this to 5. He feels his team on the cusp here, although trailing in this set 15-11. Hawkeyes on serve. It's Buettner, left to right for the black and gold. She'll send it over. Received by Ohio State. Middle of the floor, set far side, tapped at the net, and deflected up and out of play. Point to Ohio State.
Kind of an unlucky break for the block when you're there in the right spot, but the hit just hits right at the top of your fingertips and then just ends up really deep on the court for the defender to track that down.
Ohio State's lead back up to 5. Dennis receives the serve. Here's Davis. She's blocked at the net. Urquhart will send it far side of the floor for Moravec, who shoves it over. Buckeyes go far side. Thorpe taps it over and in. Found a hole on the back line for the Hawkeyes, 17-11. Ohio State up 6 in set number 3. So their timeout worked to their advantage. They've rattled off a couple of points in a row. Ohio State serving right to left. Dennis, Mateo, Davis with the termination. That was pretty good right there after Dennis got up off the floor and kept the ball from hitting the floor. Good set there from Mateo.
Yep, that was another great line swing by Davis. That's her kill number 5. She's hitting, like I said, she's automatic on the slide back there.
Iowa down 5, trying to inch closer in set number 3. Middle of the floor opportunity for the Buckeyes, and then a miscommunication on the back line. Davis and Buettner were just sort of looking at each other there as that one found the floor. 18-12 Ohio State.
Yeah, as blockers up there, you got to stay balanced, and you have to be ready for that back row attack, especially with a hitter like London in the back row. I think the blockers were already moving. They weren't expecting that back row attack.
Buettner takes in that serve, goes far side for Moravec, somehow kept alive by Ohio State. Mateo from the middle, sets it up for McSweeney, blocked out of bounds off of Ohio State. Point to the Hawks. Hanging around, we're hanging tough, down by 5. Not quite out of time yet. 18-13 Ohio State.
I was very surprised they did not call that double on that side. It had a lot of rotation, but the ref shook his head no.
Mateo serves it for Iowa, left to right. Received by Ohio State, middle of the floor, they go far side. Diving stop by Dennis. Urquhart pops it up. Moravec over the shoulder, has to send it over. Buckeyes far side, blocked by Moravec, but on our side. And it falls to the floor, 19-13, Ohio State.
Yeah, lots of really close plays at the net. Kind of unlucky breaks for Iowa, feels like.
Buckeyes back on serve. They lead by 6. Dennis takes in the serve. Ortega sprints over to pick it up. Goes middle of the floor for Moravec. Now they come near side with it. Punched up for Ortega. Dennis sends it over to Urquhart. Strong drive and a good swing. Ohio State's got it, though. On the near side, Buettner saves it on one, back over for Ohio State. Middle of the floor, set up nicely for them. Buettner, good save there. Ortega for McSweeney, but the pass was not Ortega's best, and it was blocked right back onto the Hawkeyes side and down to the floor, 20-13 Ohio State.
Yep, it was a super low set. McSweeney needs that ball nice and high so that way she can get on top of it.
Ohio State's largest lead of the set. They're up by 7. 20-13. That one was looking pretty deep. Dennis kept it alive. Here's Urquhart, far side. Goes cross court to the near side now. Ohio State middle of the floor. Tapped over. Ortega, good diving effort there to keep it alive. Here's Urquhart, sends it over, and just deep. Hit it out. 21-13. Timeout coming from Coach Barnes. Big run for Ohio State here. A 3-0 run to expand their lead. They're up 21-13. Hawkeyes back against the wall here. Going to have to fight in set number 3. We'll take the timeout with Coach Barnes. We'll be back right after this. This is Hawkeye Volleyball from Learfield, presented by Quickstar.
To anyone passing through our state, fields and fields of corn might be what they see. But the people who call Iowa home know it's so much more. Corn is ethanol, a homegrown, renewable fuel. Corn is delicious pork, beef, poultry, and dairy. Corn is in 4,000 products we rely on every day. So yeah, our highway views are full of corn, and we're proud of it. Because corn grows Iowa. Show your support for Iowa corn farmers at iowacorn.org/fan of corn.
Ohio State 21, Iowa 13 in set number 3. The Buckeyes have taken the first 2 sets, so Iowa's got their backs up against the wall a little bit here in set number 3. Going to have to mount a comeback to keep the match going. Ohio State won set number 1, 25-22, even closer in set number 2 at 26-24. The Hawkeyes had a set point in set 2, but couldn't quite get that 1 point that they needed. And so now Ohio State's taken command in the 3rd set. But 1 point at a time, keep battling, chip away, and get back in this 3rd set to force a 4th.
Absolutely. It's going to take a lot of momentum, a lot of fight to come back from this deficit, but I think they're capable. They just have to find a way to come together as a team. I feel like these last few points have just felt a little tense, and you can just see it on their faces. They're not having the most fun out there as they did in the first couple sets.
Yeah. It's been a tougher set, a little bit more bad luck. 21-13 Ohio State. They'll serve it over. Ortega middle for McSweeney, who hit it deep, but it was touched at the net. And so Iowa gets the point there. 21-14. Initially looked like it was out, but that's because of the touch at the net.
Exactly.
Better set there from Ortega to get it to McSweeney,
Yep,
right?
Could still be a little higher, but at least she was able to do a little bit more with it than the last play.
Moravec will serve left to right for Iowa. Hawks trail by 7. Still in it. Here's Natalie running up on it. She'll send it over. Deep serve, too far and out. Service error, 22-14. Ohio State with the 8-point lead. Buckeyes with the serve right to left. On its way over. Received by Moravec. Slammed down by McSweeney. Blocked initially by Iowa on our side. Ortega sets it up for Buettner. Tries to come cross court and hit it too far. Too wide, 23-14. That's one of those tough angle attempts that has to basically go straight down. And
that one kind of sailed. Yeah, just lots of unforced errors on the Hawk side for this set. It just feels like as soon as they kind of get something going, it's a service error or an attack error to kind of kill their momentum.
23-14 Ohio State in the 3rd set. Starts with a good reception of serve. 1 point at a time here, Hawkeyes. It goes to McSweeney on the front line. Ortega's got it. Back to McSweeney and then falls to the floor.
Another one of those close, awkward plays to the net that just needs to be popped up nice and high to do something with. Instead, it stays low, and it's just really hard to make something out of it.
Kind of pinballing around this set, hasn't it? 24-14. This is match point for Ohio State. They've got quite a few of them in a row now. Served over to Buechner, middle of the floor. Ortega sets it for McSweeney. Ohio State saves it on their side. They'll send it over on 3. Hits the top of the tape. Ortega, middle of the floor, set for McSweeney. Tapped at the net. Back to the middle for the Buckeyes. Blocked and down on our side, and that will do it. 25-14, Ohio State takes set 3, and they win the match 3-0. 25-22, 26-24, and then 25-14, Ohio State over Iowa this afternoon.
Yeah, that was a tough match. Iowa was right there within the first couple sets. Ohio State did make quite a few errors in that first set, and like I said, they were going to make sure not to do that again in the next couple sets, and I think they did just that. They really cleaned up their play on their side of the net. They just came off from a tough loss at Nebraska, getting swept 3-0, so they were ready to bounce back just as much as Iowa was after that tough 5-setter loss to Minnesota. But, you know, that is a tough one. The Big Ten, every game's going to be tough, and I just think the Hawks have to find a way to bounce back, and it looks like going to be another tough one against Wisconsin here October 4th.
Next time the Hawkeyes are home will be October 4th. With top-ranked in the country, number 1 team in the country, Wisconsin, coming to town. So get out to Extreme Arena. October 4th, 7 p.m., Iowa hosting Wisconsin. The Hawkeyes will go on the road for a couple of matches before that, however. Iowa will be, the Hawkeyes will be at Indiana on Friday the 29th, at Illinois on the 30th. To wrap up September. We're joined by head coach of the Hawkeyes, Jim Barnes, in just a second here as he grabs the headset for our post-game conversation with Coach. Head coach of the Hawkeyes, Jim Barnes, joining us now. Coach, your initial reaction to today's match?
Well, we let this slip away. We had a chance to beat the 15th ranked team and did everything in the first 2 sets to get the win, and then handed it back at the end. It's just very frustrating. You have that opportunity, many opportunities you have to jump on a team like that and have the edge, and then ball bounce their way, and we just didn't make the plays at the end.
Those first couple of sets really took advantage of their mistakes, especially in set number 1. They had a ton of service errors, and your team made them pay, so you got to be pleased with that, but just couldn't quite finish it off in each of those. What did you see?
Well, we served
wrong?
them tough, and they weren't passing very well, but we found a way to pass worse. And that's the whole part of the game, is you've got to serve, receive well, you know, and we have different players, you know, that you just have to have good passes out of, and especially at those key moments when you really need a good pass, we didn't step up, and, you know, you've got to pass to have a chance.
Set number 3 felt like just a couple of strange bounces, couple of unlucky breaks to start the set that maybe put your team in a little bit of a hole, but you continued to fight.
Well, we let all the pressure off them. You know, they had a lot of pressure. They haven't been playing well, and like I said, we had our chances. The first set was huge. We talked about as staff, if we can win that first set, they're going to play with a lot of pressure under them. They'll make plenty of mistakes. But we let all the pressure off in that first set. The second set, we had a lead and had an opportunity again to reapply the pressure, and right at the end they flip it on us, and you know, and then from then on they're playing carefree. So we just didn't take care of business.
For the future, Coach, just what do you think it is that at those final moments of the set to get over the top? What can you pinpoint what it takes?
Yeah, we got to serve receive first. You know, we got to pass the ball consistently so we can run our offense, and then, you know, we got to be better when we are out of system. Our hitters, you know, didn't attack aggressively and, you know, smartly for what we were trying to work on. We didn't hit the shots we've, you know, been working on against this team. So you got to execute, and, you know, too many times we didn't when we had the opportunity to do it. And if we had just executed our game plan, you know, just a little more consistently, we could have won those first 2 sets, but we did not.
Anna Davis was a bright spot today for your team.
Yeah, you know, she plays hard and low error, and real dependable player. But again, you know, she's limited by the pass. So if we don't pass well enough, we can't get her the ball.
All right, Coach, we'll talk to you again in October when we get there, but a couple of big road matches coming at Indiana and at Illinois. Good luck, and thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Coach.
Thank you.
Head coach of the Hawkeyes, Jim Barnes, on our post-game show from Extreme Arena this evening. Ohio State 3-0 over Iowa today. Just a disappointing outcome. Fought hard in those first two sets. Reagan Coyle, your final thoughts on this one?
I just think every game in the Big Ten is going to be a tough one, and you just can't dwell on the losses too hard. Obviously, a tough week for the Hawks. 5-set loss to Minnesota, 3-0 sweep at home by Ohio State. It stings a little bit, but every game in the Big Ten is going to be tough. So Hawks just have to find a way to really close out on those close sets. They're just so close. They're going to be close with a lot of other teams and matches the rest of the Big Ten season. So it's just important to really close those out and come out on top on those and not dwell too hard on the loss and on to the next.
And those next matches are on the road at Indiana on Friday the 29th, 6 p.m. first serve. John Evans will have the call from Bloomington. The following day at Illinois in Champaign against the Fighting Illini. Iowa at Indiana, then at Illinois. Back-to-back days this upcoming weekend, Friday and Saturday the 29th and 30th. Both matches start at 6 p.m. All right, that'll do it for our coverage of Iowa Hawkeye volleyball today from Extreme Arena. Ohio State 3-0 over the Hawkeyes this afternoon. Thank you for listening to Iowa Hawkeye volleyball today. For Reagan Coyle, I'm John Leo saying so long from Extreme, where Iowa falls 3-0 to Ohio State. Every day's a great day to be a Hawkeye. Some are just a little bit better than others. So long, everybody.
On the Hawkeye Sports Network from Learfield, this has been Iowa Hawkeye Volleyball, brought to you by Iowa Corn. You might think Iowa just grows corn, but the truth is corn grows Iowa. Brought to you by Iowa's corn farmers of the Iowa Corn Growers Association and the Iowa Corn Promotion Board. Wellmark, you're listening to healthy coverage of the Iowa Hawkeyes from Wellmark Blue Cross and Blue Shield, University of Iowa Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives, and by Homewood Suites and Home 2. Hawk fans, experience your home away from home at Coralville's finest all-suite hotels. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Hawkeye Sports Network.